Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
And we're back. My name is Bill, and I'm ready to fight.
And my name is Barry, and I'm ready to fight.
All right, I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on.
Welcome to And in This Corner, where we settle the score once and for all on who's the best. That includes best music, best shows, best movies, best anything, basically. This week, what we talking about, Bill?
This week, we are talking about soundtracks, movie soundtracks, our top 10 movie soundtracks of all time.
All right. Obviously, we're going to get into a heated debate. So what do we do if we do not agree? That's easy. The audience, you guys, you split the difference. A lot of this is based on opinion, but it's like my mom always said, if 5 or more people agree, that means it's a fact. So if you hear something you agree with or you disagree with, just go ahead and add your 2 cents below in the comment section and let us know what you think.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
All right, so like I stated earlier, we are doing our top 10 movie soundtracks of all time. Again, Barry and I, we've talked about this topic for years. We've pretty much our top have always been the same. Order has changed a little bit. However, we've been pretty on the same level as far as our soundtracks. Now, the bottom portion is where you're going to see some differences. However, again, there are some movie soundtracks that are all original songs, and you have some that are made up of songs that have already been out. So greatest hits. So those count as well. If it came out as a movie soundtrack, and you're able to purchase it or download it, then that's what we're going by.
Yep. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We just basically going to go through our top 10. We'll start at the bottom. Bill,
sir.
I don't know if there's a huge advantage for this, but I'm going to have you flip the coin this week. I'll call it in the air.
All right, got my quarter here.
And heads.
Oh,
whatever it land on is good. Heads.
Tails.
All right, so that means you pick if you want to go first or second.
On you, buddy.
All right, cool. So I'll go first. We're going to start. Round 1, we'll start at 10 and we'll work our way down all the way to number 1.
Oh, yeah.
So
yes, sir.
Number 10, I'm getting right into it. The Wiz. A lot of iconic music, and I'd be remiss if I didn't find some way to show Michael Jackson love on this countdown, but he's The Wiz. Basically, I kind of highlighted like my top music, my go-tos, but he's the Wizard, which is that he's the Wiz. Da, da, da. All right, You Can't Win, which is like my favorite song on the soundtrack.
Mike.
He's on Down the Road.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
Everybody knows it.
Slide Some Oil to Me. It goes real hard. I love that song. I'm a Mino Lion. I love that. Lion's Number. Don't Bring Me No Bad News. Love that. And then Home. Also, you already know. Like when I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. So yeah, it's just a solid soundtrack. Great movie, musical.
Excellent.
Star-studded cast. MJ's in it. If you don't have this movie, I don't know if we get off the wall, thriller, bad, because this is the movie where Michael actually convinced Quincy to work with him, and Quincy agreed because he saw Michael's work ethic during the filming. So love the project, love the music. It's Quincy's fingerprints all over it, and you got Mike Jack. So I got the Wizard number 10.
Barry, who was supposed to play Dorothy?
You'll have to enlighten me. I wouldn't know. Who was supposed to play Dorothy?
It was supposed to be who was the one that was supposed to battle the battle?
Wait, if I'm guessing,
Shaka.
Well, I was gonna say if I'm guessing from people from the time, you talking about Miss Mills, Stephanie Mills, because
Mills.
I wanted. Yeah, the only reason I would have guessed that, but I never knew that for a fact. But she played Dorothy on
the
Broadway, and she's isn't she she sings the other version that everybody knows for Home, right? When I think of Home, I think yes, and that and her and Mike was basically talking at the time.
So it was supposed to be Stephanie Mills because of the Broadway. However, in the when they wanted to push the movie because they needed an audience. They had to go.
Star.
They needed a star, so they had to
Yeah.
go get Diana.
And I'm not mad at that because we got a chance to see Diana do it, but then also Stephanie Mills is known for that role for her work on.
Oh, bro, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm not mad
Definitely.
at that.
No.
That's news to me. I didn't know she was supposed to be, casting.
It was she, yeah. They were great. She was supposed to be it, but they needed a star.
Yep.
So, all right.
What you
So
got?
for me, number 10, I got the 5 heartbeats.
Hey man, not mad at that.
I got the 5 heartbeats. House is not a home, although as we were talking about it,
The movie version is better than the
movie
album
version is better than the album version.
Hey, Duck, let's do it like we practiced in the tunnel.
Nights like this, I wish.
After 7.
We got the After 7. Stay
Stuck in the middle.
Stuck in the middle. You got I'm actually reading now. I got Nothing But Love. Baby, Stop Running Around.
Yep.
Baby,
Stop running. Yeah. And,
that's Flash though. We were just talking about that's Flash.
No, that's Bird in the Falcons.
Bird. That's Bird.
Bird in the Midnight Falcons.
Bird. I'm thinking about Flash.
Flash is the one.
Flash is from the beginning.
Yeah. Flash sings Flash. What's the song that Flash sings? He's Are you ready for love? Because I'm ready for love.
Yeah.
No, still a lot of good music. And then you also got the room where the song where she's sweeping up the room. With, Patti LaBelle's version.
We haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
And even I feel like going on, I like the movie version better than the soundtrack version.
Too. Same.
But excellent movie. It is a classic amongst whoever. Honestly, I kind of feel it's a toss up between that and the Temptations movie.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lean towards.
And the fact that this isn't based on a true story, it just makes it so much more interesting. Yeah. But I was really close to putting this on my countdown, so I'm actually
Yep. All right, so that I got that at 10.
A solid entries. So number 9 is kind of a funny pick for me, but just hear me out. So this is back when people used to buy tapes for kids to like memorize all the music to movies. And The Lion King, I used to get down with a lot of the Disney tapes back then. The ones I remember the most are, I feel like the most iconic soundtracks of that time, the golden era of animation. You got Beauty and the Beast, The Little Mermaid, Lion King, and Aladdin may actually go harder.
Aladdin is on there.
Aladdin probably goes harder than The Lion King, but for me, Lion King was my soundtrack. I ended up getting a tape. I learned every word to every song except for Circle of Life and Be Prepared. I appreciated those songs when I got older. Now Be Prepared is like my favorite song on the movie, but Can You Feel the Love Tonight? I just can't wait to be king for kids. Hakuna Matata and I Just Can't Wait to Be King were like the go-tos. But this is just, I remember like playing this, like it was like a Billboard #1 for me. Like I just wore out the tape on this. And this I used to check out this. I checked out the sing-along from the library. So I checked it out every week. So I had to show The Lion King some love.
I'm not mad at the Lion King. Again, that's in my opinion, that's probably the best Disney animated soundtrack of all time.
Yeah. Okay, so because I was like, you know what? You could argue Aladdin, but I'm like, I'm more fond of Lion King. So I didn't know which way you were going to go. That's what's up.
It'd probably, for me, it'd be between either that or Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast goes hard.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. Yeah, I from beginning to end.
Yeah,
that's
a whole nother fight. Like I'm saying, we'll end up talking about what's the best soundtrack, but this one made the list. So it sounds like you're kind of fond of the pick. So I'm anxious to hear what you got at number 9. What's up?
Number 9, I got Soul Food.
Oof. Name some hits on that. What is that? 97?
97. We got I Care About You, Milestone.
A group full of siblings, by the way.
Yep.
Girl, I Care About You.
Girl, I Care About You. I got We're Not Making Love No More, Drew Hill.
Oh man. That's the soundtrack that kind of cemented to me when Drew Hill was already out, but I wasn't sure if they were going to stick around. And I'm like, when this soundtrack came out, I'm like, oh, they got some nice material, and Babyface was around their material. So we're not making love no more.
We're not making love no more. You got Song for Mama, Boys to Men.
It's the biggest song. Boy, that's the biggest song on the it's the biggest song on the soundtrack. A Song for Mama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Song for Mama.
What About Us? Total.
And
some songs.
The song with Outkast, Erykah Badu, and CeeLo.
Yeah, and also come and get your soul food.
No.
That's Goody Mob. But
In Due Time. It's called In Due Time.
Yeah, and there we go. And then some songs didn't make the soundtrack because they played No Diggity at the wedding, but it's not on the soundtrack. They played, it's another song that they played. Well, not they played the piano when she was at the audition to the Blackstreet joint, but it wasn't on the soundtrack, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Or Blackstreet or The Barge. It's actually The Barge song, A Dream.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
there we go. Yeah. That's what they sampled it from. But September, Earth, Wind, and Fire. I know
it's on there.
Yeah, it's on the soundtrack. They played that at the wedding as well.
Yep.
Believe it or not, this movie came out when I was a 5th grader. So this is how I was introduced to Earth, Wind, and Fire. That's one of my favorite bands. So this movie actually introduced them to me. That was like the first song I actually heard.
Yeah. That album, man, that again, we're going back into the era of soundtracks.
Yeah. This is like the beginning of the end, though. This is like stop.
Oh yeah.
After this, you don't get too much more of
because I think one of the last you'll see one of the last ones when
I know. I already know. I know your list. I already know.
Yeah.
You still got
that's one of the last ones though.
Yeah. It's early 2000s got some because the wood and stuff like that. And you have something highlighted. But actually, as we get into number 8, transition, it's a smooth transition because I actually had Soul Food as my number 8, one spot higher than yours.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like I just remember loving R&B at this time. This was a great time to be an R&B fan.
Love it.
A lot of Babyface material, great soundtrack. Yep. And I think I said enough in your segment. So I had 8, Soul Food for 8. What you got at number 8?
Number 8, I have, it's a goodie. It's one of, I just keep it like that. The Preacher's Wife.
Okay, there we go.
I got a mix of, you got a mix of a little Christmas, just a little bit, because it's a Christmas, it is a Christmas movie, but it's a gospel album. It is a gospel album.
It broke records. I'll let you say some of the accolades if you.
We have obviously multi-million, platinum selling album. You come out with I Believe in You and Me.
For the longest, I don't know if it still holds the record, but it was the number 1 most successful gospel album.
Absolutely.
And you don't think of this. I'm just like, but every person, my wife grew up in the church and she knows every song on this. Everybody who got married around that time got married to this soundtrack. So. Yeah,
you got Step by Step, I Believe in You and Me. You got Joy. You got hold on, got some more. He's All Over Me. Got which is featuring Shirley Caesar, the queen, the mother of gospel music. You got Lord Is My Shepherd, Joy to the World, which at the very end of Joy to the World on the actual movie, that's when Lionel Richie is actually playing the piano. So if I'm not mistaken, he arranged that song. I have to go back and look at the credits, but I believe he arranged that song for the soundtrack. So
what's your favorite track on the album, if you know?
It's probably I Love the Lord, which is Whitney when she's singing it and she has a Georgia Mass Choir behind her. So it's probably that song. Yeah,
for me, it's the Who Would Imagine the King. And that's only if you ask me this year, it might change. But it's solid. And this is like the trifecta, man. She has like solid Black classics. And this one just kind of like always coming with a good soundtrack, always coming with a nice movie. And this is just another staple to give her like that hat trick. So
it's another one.
That's what's up. All right, so that was That was your number
Preacher's
8.
Wife. Yep.
Solid. Let's get into it, man. We going to number 7, man.
Ooh.
All right, 7.
Yes.
All right, 7. Check this out. I feel like this movie goes the best with the soundtrack, because if you just blindly go into the soundtrack, you're not going to appreciate it unless you know the movie. And for me, it's House Party. It's just every time I hear these songs that I'm about to name, I automatically jump back to the scene where this music took place. So you got Why You Get Funky on Me, which is today. House Party, which is probably my favorite record on the movie. Full Force.
Okay.
You got Can't Do Nothing For You, Man, which might be my favorite record. I don't know.
Do nothing for you, man. I can't do nothing for you,
Flavor
man.
Flav is the man.
Yeah.
So then you got Ain't My Type of Hype. Might be my favorite. I don't know. Yeah, definitely.
And that's Full Force.
Yes, Full Force. If you take Full Force out this movie, the soundtrack ain't doing nothing. They got the best hitters on it. And then you got always.
One second, Barry. Do you know some people don't know that Full Force is the people from the movie? And they don't know that the big dude, Paul. I think it's Paul. I think his name Paul.
I don't know their names like that, but what you about to say?
He's the guy that's singing on All Cried Out.
Well, no, they're in the video. They also in the video.
But that's what I'm saying. People don't correlate the House Party thugs.
It's because
they don't know they're singers.
Well, not they. I mean, they wrote music for Backstreet Boys, and you mentioned All Cried Out, but they also wrote I Wonder If You Take Me Home When You Still
Lisa's
Lisa's Coat Jam, and then you also got. I mean, this is a different world reference, but they produced the track for Jasmine Guy or whatever. So the song that she had when she had the red dress at the black and white party that's playing in the background, Full Force produced that. So definitely Bow-Legged Lou. That's the only one I know by name. The other ones I get mixed up. But
God, Pete. What is their name?
Every time I want to say they real names, I mess around and just say Slash, and I just put their movie names on there. But Heatwave, Always and Forever. I found out about that song through this, even though it's like basically it's an oldie. But I like the fact that they put that, because that's how a house party is supposed to be. You're supposed to have a segment where you play old school tracks, and if you need to know how to DJ, this movie teaches you how to do it.
It does.
Switch. Bad Boy Having a Party. The Luther joint when he snuck out. Man, this soundtrack go hard, and your reaction shows that it's at the right spot. So House Party, great movie, and definitely a solid soundtrack. Love the movie.
Absolutely. I think my favorite song on there is Ain't My Type of Hype.
Right. That's
either that one or Always and Forever.
I struggled with, like, every time I kept saying the song, I'm like, oh, that's actually my favorite. But the one that the Full Force, the House Party, the beat behind that's the one where kid play is basically vacuuming, and then they play it at the party as well. When they play it at the party, that looks like a real house party. Like, it's just everybody just jumping. You can hear, like, you can feel the room shaking. I just love that scene.
What's even funny, I'm gonna go. I like to throw out.
I'm about to tell you a fun fact about the movie. Actually,
go ahead, because I was gonna tell a fun fact about Always and Forever.
So, fun fact about the movie, I'll get into that first. And then, when you filming audio, a lot of times you don't have music. So sometimes on movies, that's why background dancers be offbeat, because they're not all listening to the same music. So when they did the dance break, they practice videos of them practicing their cadence, because they're doing that dance without any music. And the fact that the crowd is with them, it's like the crowd and them are on one accord. The boys, which Kid and Play versus Gina and Jody Mama or whatever, they're on par. Like, it don't look like they offbeat, because if you watch another movie, which is Stomp the Yard, you could tell they offbeat sometimes in that movie, because they couldn't hear the music. But go ahead.
Always and Forever. Everybody should know that's by Heatwave. You should know who wrote Always and Forever. Rod Temperton.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Rod Temperton was a white guy.
Yep, and he
And you go look at his credits. Leave him alone.
Yeah, man. He gave he
Michael
gave
Jackson,
MJ,
boy.
exactly. He gave
He
MJ
gave
some of the
MJ
best.
some heat.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anybody wanna, go do your research. Go do your research on Rod Temperton.
Nah,
you will see some songs.
I looked him up only after it was like a anniversary special for like Thriller or one of them, and I'm like, oh, who is this guy? And then I looked up his credits, and I was like, oh, dude, been here for a minute, just been.
No, he's not playing.
Yeah,
if you go back, even go look at the old Always and Forever video when they have on like the little, I think it's like a little shiny suit or whatever, or the old school video.
I see. I ain't never seen.
You'll see him back there playing the piano.
I never seen the video to this day, so I gotta
go watch it. It's it's old anyway. So if you go back and watch it, you'll see the lone white guy playing the little keyboard. That's right.
Dude got some soul. Dude got some soul.
If he made that song, he got some soul in him.
Nah,
so
look up his credits. There goes some homework.
Look up his credits, people.
Hey, that was my number 7, man.
I'm at number 7. I'm at number 7. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because
I know you're cheating, and I'm getting ready to call you out. So go ahead.
Because I didn't want to do it, but God,
I let it slide. But watch what he did. Tell him your number 7. Lowkey, your 7.
Dead President soundtrack.
And
no, that's it.
It's not. Oh, that's okay.
Because I took one out.
Okay, making sure.
Yeah,
I saw your list. I'm like, hey, bro, you got 11 songs. You got 11 soundtracks on it.
I took one out.
All right, hey, man.
I took one out because of a conversation Barry and I had earlier.
I feel you.
The soundtrack alone is fire.
Yeah.
However, it is made up of songs that were already previous released or whatever. Just like,
and we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up in We'll bring it up in. Yeah, but Dead Presidents, it fits the narrative because it's a period piece. Believe it or not, Bill, I've seen this movie once. Only reason why this thing traumatized me. Like this, if you watch the ending of this, this movie traumatizes me, bro. I can't watch war movies because of this. Like I've never seen Saving Private Ryan because of this movie. Like I cannot watch war movies because the ending of this movie as a kid, you so used to like happy endings.
See, I still have to remember, like, bro.
I was too young for this, and I was just like, "What is this? The end of the movie?" I said, "I'm never watching this again." But the music is great. Even the like this was the first time I the Al Green
Love and Happiness.
Yeah, when Smokey overdose OD.
Yeah.
So it's like he OD to
no, it's
I'm so in love.
Yeah.
So it's the music in this fits it perfectly, and this is
it's a timepiece. It's a timepiece.
Yeah. So and it's awesome.
You got the big pay, the Payback, James Brown. You got Walk On By Isaac Hayes, who was king of blaxploitation.
Yeah.
God dang, I can't even talk. Back in the days, and the whole Shaft movement, and his orchestra he had put together. I'm so tired of being alone. Al Green, you got the OJs, Love Train.
The Hughes brothers put a lot of people up on game because I feel like this bridged the gap from that era to where this music, for me, I always remember knowing it as a kid, but this movie probably introduced me to a lot of those songs.
Oh yeah.
Once again, the content scared me to death, and I was like, "What? You going it for life? What are they talking about?" I'm like, "What?" I thought it was about to be a happy ending. And I was like, man, it would have been better off if they just shot him at the robbery or whatever. So spoiler alert, my bad, but
no, man. But Dead Presidents, man, it's solid. Just the album solid. Man, solid. Now if I had to take that one out, you know what? I'll wait to the end.
Yeah, we'll get into
we're at 6.
We'll get into
we're at 6. We're at 6.
All right, so 6, I got, man. This is like this movie is the reason I love New Jack Swing so much, but it's like it's like the state. It's New Jack City, man. Like this movie it it captures everything about that era that's just smooth. And to be honest, I saw this movie before I saw a lot of the movies that it was kind of riffing off of. Like I saw this before Goodfellas. I saw this before Scarface. I saw this before a lot of those cocaine movies. So every time people be like, this is like one of my favorite D-Boy movies, and people be like, why you like that movie more than this? I'll be like, bro, I saw this first. My bad. I just like it. It's just the CMB. This is just smooth, a solid. I'm Dreaming. Don't Wake Me. I'm Dreaming. Chris Williams. You got the New Jack City, the guy joint when they walk into the club. You know, we need the James Brown sample, awesome. The I'm Still Waiting, the Johnny Gill goes hard. Telling me no again. Keith Sweat, we already saw the verses. They shooting up the wedding. For the Love of Money, Living for the City. Man,
what was that? True. Levert
that's true.
And Queen
Levert
Latifah,
and
right?
Queen Latifah. Yes. Yeah. And then bum bum bum, and then I Want to Sex You Up. Color Me Bad. Looking for the Pimples on the Booty. It's just
Looking for
solid
the pimples
soundtrack.
on the booty.
Yeah, man. I just love the soundtrack. Love the genre. Teddy Riley, fingerprints all over it. And this is tied to another soundtrack because basically Uptown got the deal to do this soundtrack. And then they gave advice to Teddy Riley, to Babyface in LA. Hey, if you really want to get your record label off the ground, LaFace, you need to go latch on to a big upcoming, movie soundtrack. And we'll get into that later. But New Jack City, into that. Love it. 6 solid joints on there. More. I just left some off, but yeah, that's what I got at number 6.
Yeah. All right. So for my number 6, all right, everybody. Well, people who know me know I love jazz. So one of the ultimate jazz movies of all time would be Mo Better Blues. Mo Better Blues gave you Mo Better Blues soundtrack.
Yep.
9 songs. Pretty much everything put together by Branford Marsalis and Terrence Blanchard. Anybody know about Marsalis? You got Winton, you got Branford, you got that family's just out of control musicians. The music, oh man, like the Harlem Blues, the jazz thing.
The movie fit the music perfectly.
Gangstar. Again, the movie, like you just said, Barry. And the music goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Goes hand in hand. Like
Denzel Washington at his smoothest, the lovely Cinda Williams. And then this for me, this movie probably, if Hollywood would have did this movie today, it wouldn't have worked because they would have added so much pop to it. But this actually introduced me to the world of jazz. And it was like, and the way Spike Lee did a great job of just weaving the soundtrack together with the movie and stitching it together. It's entertaining. Yeah. And it's just like the music, definitely.
It's music,
and you got actors. Yeah,
it's solid, music. Man. It's New York.
Yep.
You just feel Spike Lee.
And knowing you, like you said, people who know you know how you feel about jazz. I'm like, I already know he gonna put Mo Better Blues on this. It makes sense.
Mo Better Blues has to go on there. But there is I've been on this other and I don't have it listed on my honorable mentions, so I can go ahead and say it now. It's The Photographer.
I didn't see that yet. You talking about the one with the dude from Get Out?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
So,
it's good.
Photographer, or I think that's what it's called. But
I'm pretty sure
I listened to the soundtrack.
Yeah. You said something. All right. Yeah.
So man.
I see it. You talking with Lakeith Stanfield, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I still ain't even.
I haven't watched it yet, but
if I didn't see the movie, I wouldn't have known to even check out the soundtrack.
The soundtrack came across, as I'm just searching and looking around, and it came across on my Apple Music. And man, when I tell you that music,
on point. Hey, say less. I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna check out the movie.
Robert Glasper. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Robert Glasper did it. So it's a very good put together. Robert Glasper ventures in neo soul, like the rap, neo soul, jazz. He puts all that into a good fusion. But just check it out, man. Check it out.
I'll check them out.
My 6 was Mo Better Blues.
All right, so we get into the bottom of the 9th right now. We get into the back half. So number 5, this is where it starts getting interesting. Man, as much as I love Soul Food when it came out really close to this other soundtrack, which I just love, mainly because of my fondness of Michael Jordan around the time. So I'm going Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Although it's like I got 5 songs listed here, there's more on the album, but these are just the 5 songs that spoke to me the most. And these songs probably mean a little bit more to me than other songs on other soundtracks. So you got Basketball Jones with the Barry White joint. You got For You I Will, which is arguably my favorite song on that album. Like my mama played that song out. Like she made me, that's when I used to record tapes. She made me record that when it came on the radio. And my mom wore that
Monica,
single
right?
out. Yeah, the Monica joint. That's my favorite song on the actual soundtrack.
Okay.
And, I Believe I Could Fly, R. Kelly was the biggest song that year, obviously.
Biggest song from now.
Space Jam, Quad City DJ.
Quad City DJ.
Best intro to a movie ever. Like that's just the best soundtrack for a highlight reel. You put that song on and people feel like they're getting ready to go score, put up a triple double. And then Fly Like an Eagle by Seal. It just went hard. Like every time I hear that song, I automatically think of Michael moving with the grace he was doing when he was hitting the dunks in the gym. So love the movie, love the soundtrack. And this came out, like when this came out, this was like a blockbuster event because they just had the formula for a successful piece of art. And it was just like, you got MJ, you got the movie, and guess what? The music's on point. So yeah, I got Space Jam at 5.
Quality pick. All right. This would be the most recent soundtrack on my list and on your list.
In recent, what do you mean? You mean part of that?
The newest soundtrack that.
Okay, yeah. I know where you're going.
No, but again, I'm going back to a holiday theme, and it's the Best Man's Holiday. What was it? 13 years between the first Best Man and the second Best Man. So. And for it to just for the movie to be good, the movie was really good. It was great.
It's a great standalone. It's another classic by itself. Then just like you said, this is the newest entry on your list. When it comes to my Christmas music, I listen to the same Christmas music every year. These are the newest entries, like the songs from this soundtrack are the newest entries to my Christmas playlist.
You got.
I'll
you
let
got Christmas Time to Me by Jordan Sparks. What Christmas Means to Me, Fantasia. She did a great job. I Still Have You, Charlie Wilson. R.
Kelly
Step Christmas, I'll Be Stepping, R. Kelly.
That's my favorite.
Marsha Ambrosia and Anthony Hamilton when they did Ass.
And Neo got one on there too. That's on point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Neo has one. I want to come home for Christmas, Neo.
But that's already set. That's already 7 or 6. That's all you need.
And Can You Stand the Rain is actually on here.
Yeah, it counts.
It's actually on here though.
Yeah, it introduced, to be honest, before the New Edition movie, it introduced a new audience to that song.
Yeah,
so
because they did, they did a routine.
Yep.
But man, this is one of the best Christmas albums. Soundtrack albums, even just Christmas albums that I've heard. But the music went right along with the movie. Excellent job to merge the two. So
13 years after I thought that movie was gonna fail.
Me too. Me too.
And then I watched it, I was like, oh, we got another classic.
It worked. It worked. So I got Best Man's Holiday Soundtrack, number 5.
All right, so number 4.
Here we go.
Hey man, this when our list start looking the same around this part.
Here we go.
So number 4 is Bodyguard, and historically, just the numbers this soundtrack was able to do. Like I've always appreciated the box office behind this. It's just like great movie, but it did 45 million for a soundtrack. That's just, you don't think soundtracks going diamond.
It's not
4
supposed
times.
to do that.
It's not supposed to do that. And then.
But Barry,
how many songs?
If I tell you I always say five got you 45.
Five got them 45. And what we mean by that, this song, nobody listens to side B. It's basically, I will always love you. I'm every woman, queen of the night. I have nothing, run to you. By the way, I grew up in a house full of women, and I always tell people this, like my fun fact, they don't believe me, but my favorite song growing up was I'm Every Woman. My wife is laughing right now because she already know what I was gonna say. That was my favorite song, bro. It wasn't. I didn't let go of that song till I was like in 8th grade, bro. That means I'm a grown teenager. Just like, nah, that's my favorite song, bro. Like I'm like Shaka. I'm like singing it every time. That's like my karaoke go-to, man.
Yeah.
So,
5 songs. If you want to give her the 6th one, which is Jesus Love Me,
I'm not giving her that.
I'm not gonna give you that one.
Yeah,
5
it's
songs.
5 songs. Got her
5 songs. One stemmed off one of the biggest charting singles of all time.
I Will Always Love You.
I Will Always Love You, which was a remake. Of
Dolly Parton. How you say it? Dolly
Parton.
There we go. I be wanting to say Parsons, and I'm like, I know I'm about to say her last name wrong.
Dolly Parton.
It's showing in the movie. Well, it's showing in
sitting back.
I didn't know it was
sitting back like this. Like,
yeah, she just said,
keep coming them residuals, keep coming in.
Well, she just said on the interview that she took her money and invested into the Black community with that. But also on the movie, I never knew it was Dolly's song because on the movie it's a country song when they're at the bar. And I'm just like, I always thought that
it's a guy singing it. It's a guy singing it.
That's why I was like, that's not Dolly's song. It's that country music song from that
she did it, but she's country too though. So she did it it's country. But
and I Will Always Love You, not even my favorite track. Like I already told you how I feel about I'm Every Woman. After that, it's
probably for me, I Want to Run to You.
Yeah, I was gonna say I Have Nothing and Run to You is like,
or I have
tied. And people get those songs mixed up too because they sound similar at some points. But I Have Nothing and I Want to Run to You is like when she get into that bridge and I'm like, this is like in the beat for that.
I might have to change it.
Yeah,
come on. It might be I have. It might be I Have Nothing. But
I
don't know, man. Look, hey, five got to 45. That's all we're talking about.
Just for that, I'm probably watching this movie this week. Just the way we talk
5 got to 45, man.
All right,
that is amazing.
And what's interesting is what do you have it?
I have that at 14. I have it at 4. So it's nothing. Yeah, it's a tie. Barely, I'm gonna hop on 2. I'm gonna hop on 3. I'll do 3 because it's the same. Ironically, again, it's the same, right?
We have the same in number 3.
Okay,
yes,
okay,
it's the same.
Boomerang.
Yes.
Boomerang. Listen.
I was surprised. I wasn't sure where you were going to put this, but I was like, okay, I thought I had it too high, but
no, Boomerang. Again, STEM, one of the biggest singles of all time, End of the Road.
Yep.
And then
what fun fact you gave me last week that I didn't even know this knocked off.
That knocked off the previous song that we just talked about, which was
I Will Always Love You.
I Will Always Love You.
I Will Always Love You. Yeah.
So Boyz II Men's End of the Road knocked off Whitney's I Will Always Love You. Like literally back to back. Literally back to back. 92
was a great year.
Yeah. Babyface, LaFace Records put it out.
This the album that built LaFace. By the way, they were getting ready to quit. And if they didn't get this,
so they built LaFace, introduced Tony Braxton. You introduce Tony Braxton, and you just give a sound that's a lot of the songs were tailor-made for scenes. Like
Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night.
You remember when Halle Berry, he just like Love Should Have Brought You Home Last Night. He just pushed his head like it went right with it. You got
Give You My Heart. I like Give You My Heart. I like End of the Road. Love Should Have Brought You Home. My favorite song on the album is There You Go. Like There You Go goes hard. Oh, excuse me. Well, End of the Road is the best song.
End of the Road is
that There You Go. It's the best song. If we're not including that, it's There You Go is the one that's
it's not
me.
Yeah.
And then you
know what's funny? It's a song that they when Marcus
on the roof.
No, when Marcus
on the roof.
Okay,
go ahead.
It's a song. It's like a very small song. It's when they were in New Orleans. And
you talking about Taste Like Heaven? Like just like
Taste
heaven?
Like Heaven, yes. That's how we going hard.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, it is. I had it listed here, but I'm like, okay, go ahead. But
PM Dawn. Die Without
I
You.
Die
PM
Without You.
See that? Just like that.
Which
That
is the
PM done?
is it my turn? Everybody knows it as is it my turn? Yeah, that's the one I feel like is outside of Boys to Men, even more so than There You Go. Females know that song the most.
Well,
The PM Dawn, yeah.
no, I
Girls
think
be knowing that.
I
They
think
know the different versions. It's the
They
different
know Love
versions.
Should Have Brought You Home last night.
Oh, there we go. Hey, my bad. I'm tripping. You're right. You're right. I'm tripping. That shows you how great the soundtrack is.
But that There You Go. Oh my God.
We skipping some of the fast.
Keith Washington's song on that though.
Yeah, it's a lot of them, bro.
What's Keith Washington's song?
The scene that he was in was that hold on, let me pull up the whole soundtrack. Go ahead and talk. I'll look up the soundtrack.
Boomerang. I got it right here.
I'm looking at it too. You talking
Tonight
about
is Right. Tonight is Right.
Yep. And then you also got, I'll read out some of the stuff we left off. Give You My Heart, I already said, but It's Gonna Be All Right. Tonight is Right. You just said that. I Die Without You, which is it my turn? And then 7-Day Weekend, Grace Jones.
Grace Jones.
She makes a cameo in the movie. Well, she has a role.
It makes more than Strong J.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't Want to Love You, Shanice. I like that song. It's a nice little upbeat.
Yeah, it's a solid
Nice little solid song.
End of the Road, Reversal of the Dog, Love Shit. That's the one where he outside the I said how much on the day. What time is it? What time does the show start? That Love Shit About You Home. There You Go. Don't Want to Love You, Shanice. You just brought it up. Feels Like Heaven.
That's the one on the platter.
Yeah, that's the Tribe Called Quest joint. Yeah, so it's
quality soundtrack.
Solid, man. The
solid soundtrack.
The album that built LaFace. Like without this album, they were struggling, and it was like, hey man, we just got a soundtrack. The Hughes brothers going to give us a shot, and then they ended up knocking that out of the ballpark.
Knock that out, and then now you introduce Toni Braxton to the world, and now you drop her album. And
great way to break an artist,
man. Great way.
Man, everybody was on the you can't even say they was on the coattails of Boyz II Men. It's just with Boyz II Men launching that album to what it did, it introduced people to a lot of artists that probably wouldn't have got shine otherwise.
I mean, Babyface wrote the song, so
yep.
What can you say?
That's number 3. Solid. I love it.
Get down to our last two. I think the audience know the last. If you don't know these last two, I may have.
Funny thing is, I'll say something after, because Bill said something to me last week that actually made me adjust my two. Otherwise, our fours would have been identical. So he the one that made me change it. Lowkey, he gave me some feedback where I was like, he's right. I might have to change this. And then lo and behold, he kept his list the same. So my number 2 is Purple Rain. And mainly the reason why I did this, because I mentioned last conversation.
Don't bring up the other one.
No, I said I mentioned to Bill that Purple Rain may be the most defining, like most influential, most important, best soundtrack. And Bill thought, and I thought Bill sometimes he just want to debate, because Bill knows, like when it comes to Purple Rain, I always hear great feedback from him about this album. But for some reason, he was giving me a hard time, and I'm like, I'm surprised to hear this from you. He says, "Well, the thing is, Barry, some of the songs on the movie, they're not on the soundtrack." And I looked it up. It's missing, The Time. It's missing Apollonia's joint. It's missing what other stuff was missing?
Was that Sex Shooter?
Sex Shooter was missing. Yep. And Sex Shooter go hard, but it's more songs missing. Like basically for the amount of songs they had on the movie, it's like not half, but like 70% actually made the album. And Let's Go Crazy, Beautiful Ones, Take Me With You, When Doves Cry, I Would Die For You, Baby I'm a Star, Purple Rain are my favorite songs on the soundtrack, but it's still missing some other songs as well. So I was like, still, I could flip this easily for 1 and 2. So
what's your favorite song?
My favorite song, man, it depends, but it might be hard. Listen, I've been going through like a mood where I just be replaying Beautiful Ones a lot, but Let's Go Crazy is my favorite, because that's over time I've probably listened to that the most out of all the songs. But Beautiful Ones lately, the last couple years, like the last 5 years, that's been my favorite. But that's gonna change. But it's like Let's Go Crazy has kind of been my steady go-to.
Okay, my favorite one is
It's gonna be one of
I
the
Would
top
Die
two.
For You. I Would Die For
Well,
You.
oh, see,
I Would Die For You.
yeah, and
it's my favorite one.
And you could argue the best two songs on there, When Doves Cry and Purple Rain, is just so tied to the movie.
Easily.
But it's just like every one of these songs you get a different side of Prince. He's just so eclectic as an artist. So I love it. Yep. So
and it's funny because people don't even think that it's a soundtrack, but it's actually a soundtrack.
It's an album, man. It's like he cheated and put an LP out for the soundtrack.
Hey, but again, you got to think now. He followed the same format of songs, a number of songs an album has from that era, which around that 9, 10, 11 number. That sweet era we always talk about.
Yeah, and then some of that is because the amount you could fit on the vinyl.
Oh yeah,
but then but no, not really, because a lot of these back then songs were longer. So I don't know.
Well, that's true too. Because if you look at Miles Davis's, he had an album called Bitches Brew. Yeah. And I mean, one side is like 25, 30 minutes because it's only like 2 songs.
Wow. That's like the case of Stevie Wonder. Like you want to listen to a Stevie Wonder joint, you might be sitting there for 9 minutes and only get the one track. Yeah. So scratch what I just said about vinyl, because back then songs were longer. But your sweet spot for music was around that 10.
Round 10. Yep. All right. So my number 2, which basically we'll let y'all know, me and Barry's number 1 and 2 are just flip-flop. That's all it is.
Exactly. So we're gonna talk about my number 1 right now, which is
Purple Rain is my number 1. And I will, I've told everybody knows whenever I talk, that's the greatest soundtrack of all time. No ifs, ands, buts about it. My number 2 is Purple Rain is so iconic. It's really way up there.
Now I see. You wouldn't have to explain if you would have just let me pick my pick.
We talked about this for years.
I feel you.
I don't know why you changed it.
I changed it after years of a debate. I'm like, dang, Bill made sense. I never knew that songs were missing, and I was like, I got to take off points. And then now all of a sudden,
I'm not taking nothing off because I know all the songs.
And with 1 and 2, I don't think you can make. I don't think nobody's gonna.
No. It's Waiting to Exhale. My number 2 is Waiting to Exhale.
List the songs on there.
Listen, you have 16 songs.
Yep.
15 of the songs, because one is an old jazz standard, My Funny Valentine, that's an old jazz standard. Yep. But all 15 songs are written and produced by Babyface.
Yes.
This man had to write basically from a woman's perspective and cater it. Each song was catered to
characters,
handpicked singers. Babyface did something, I believe it was for Valentine's Day, that he did a whole thing about the Waiting to Exhale, on IG, how it started, how did it come into conception to the very end, who was on it, who was not on it, when it was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to sing, I don't know, Face, I don't know. And eventually she got 2 songs. One is, again, one of the biggest songs, Shoot, one of the biggest charting songs of all time.
You got Count on Me?
Shoot and Count on Me, those are her 2 songs. And not only that, Why Does It Hurt So Bad? So she has the first 2 and the last. She has the first 2 songs and the last song on the album, along with CeCe Winans. But
then what else you got? You got Let It Flow.
Let It Flow, which is probably my favorite song. But Tony Braxton.
I can't pick my favorite song for this album, but Let It Flow.
It Hurts Like Hell. Aretha
Sitting
Franklin,
up in my room.
Sitting in my room. Brandy
was my favorite song, because for the kids, Brandy was the youngest one on the album, and it was like, to me, that's who I related to the most. Like, oh, they got Brandy on the album. Not Gonna Cry.
You're Not Gonna Cry. And I gave my love to you, Sonny Marie. All Night Long, SWV.
All Night
Good
Long.
Lord.
All Night Long might be my favorite song on the album, bro. I'm not. Yeah, All Night Long might be my favorite song on the album. So that's the SWV joint.
Shaka Khan did My Funny Valentine.
Funny Valentine. Yep.
And he talked about that because that's a jazz standard. So when you're doing the jazz has its own like scales, and jazz has a lot of runs. So Babyface, he plays the piano, but he's not a jazz pianist. So he had to. So when they kind of talked about it, they wanted to bring it to more of an up-to-date sound, but wanted to keep the jazz flavor to it. So he had to kind of deconstruct the song so that he can build it back up. But he still kept the jazz undertone to it, which I loved. My Love, Sweet Love, Patti LaBelle, my God. Jesus.
Yeah,
Kissing You, Faith Evans.
Yeah, while you talking, I guess I put this as number one because this is my fondness for Babyface. You already know how I feel about Babyface.
Yeah,
like I remember after Versus, like before Versus, I was on it, and I remember this was one of the albums that we got through the Columbia house, a penny for an album, and this is when they used to have the lyrics on the back of albums, and I just remember, I remember Kenneth Edmonds being a name that I just always saw because I knew Babyface as an artist. My sister used to have a crush on him or whatever. So it was like, oh, that's the dude that looked like Denzel. So I knew him as an artist, but when I kept finding his name on songs that he wasn't singing on, that's when I started understanding, oh, he's the behind the scenes guy. So this was one of the albums where I saw the most like his name on every song. Like, so yeah, man, it's just.
Man, this is probably one of the greatest.
Every person you talk to has a different favorite song on this album.
Everybody,
always debatable. It's always
every song that plays, where it happened.
Some of the songs happen, I know, in two scenes.
It did,
but still,
you still know the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, it's crazy. Like he put his foot. He made it imprint. Like, but you know what's funny, Barry? The biggest song on here is Exhale, the shoot song. Right? What's the most important song you think?
It's Not Gonna Cry.
Most important song, Not Gonna Cry.
Yeah, man, come on, man. You know how much women bleach we
know the scene,
clothes?
Greatest scene, and that was her biggest song. That was her biggest song.
As much as Angela Bassett did, that's like one of her most iconic scenes.
Iconic.
It's a meme, and it's like, come on, man. Shout out to the director, which is your boy.
I just remember like that the hangers hanging, and the fire chief came out, and she sold all it. Oh my God, man!
I just know the way she flipped that.
When she was walking back inside,
she looked bad while she did it. I'm like, all right, Angela Bassett looked bad. They're cutting off the hair, and then it's so funny because everybody always think this movie is an extension of Jungle Fever because. Wesley Snipes is in it, and he still dates a white woman. So we'd be like, okay, this is like an extension of Jungle Fever or whatever. But I'm bringing up that's the thing about good soundtracks. You automatically bring up the movie when we're talking about soundtracks. You cannot bring up the music without bringing up scenes in the movie. So our twos and ones are switched. A lot of good music. Let's get into some honorable mentions, some stuff we left off. It's two I want to highlight that I wrote down, but some of them I'm just going to list off the top of the dome. You could just list them when you think of them, but we both wanted Love and Basketball soundtrack. Just a lot of good music, a lot of good scenes. It put a lot of people up on some oldies. It's just some of the most iconic songs are actually missing from the soundtrack, so we had to take it off. Plus, it's a top 40 soundtrack. It's like those songs were already known prior to the movie. So Go ahead. These are honorable mention.
Believe it or not, guys, y'all may look at me like, oh, one of a classic.
Tell me what year.
Classic soundtrack.
Tell me what year.
I don't even know the year, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
Tell me
what time frame? Okay, you said back.
Annie.
Solid.
Annie. If you go and every song that they song is the soundtrack song.
It's
Hard Knock Life.
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Yep.
What's the one when they did the commercial? The IODENT. Hey janitor, hey janitor.
I don't remember the song per se, but
you're never fully dressed without a smile.
There we go. And then also another one that has this the original Wizard of Oz also has that same
yes.
It just has a lot of iconic moments in it. I left it off because I'm like, I can't put Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. But like you said, the Annie joints, especially after it got sampled on the Hard Knock. Jay-Z named the album in reference to it. But I put this. I just remember it having some great hits. Not that much though, so it wasn't enough to make my countdown, which is Rush Hour. I put that on there too, but it wasn't going to make my countdown. But if I'm highlighting stuff from that era, I just remember Def Jam having some solid hits.
Yeah.
Another one was Above the Rim. A lot of good songs. Pour Out a Little Liquor. You got the SWV joint. You got a couple of Tupacs. I think Holla If You Hear Me was on there. I'm not sure if it's on the soundtrack, but yeah. So just
SWV, Part-Time Lover. What?
Yeah, but
Part-Time.
yes. The two that were the closest to making my list, if I needed to kick out The Wiz, Love and Basketball came close, but then I told you they had the issue.
I scratched mine off.
Yeah, because you had it at a double spot with somebody else, and I wasn't gonna let you get away with that, by the way. And then Above the Rim was very close for me. So
Above the Rim was close.
Yeah, and then you also got some old movies like Crush Groove, like stuff like that.
I got Jungle Fever. You got these three words. Jungle Fever.
I thought you were gonna have Jungle Fever on here. But
I was, but I listen like when I compare Jungle Fever. So I made like 4 other songs. It may carry the soundtrack, but if I try to match it up against like say a Preacher's Wife, where I'm gonna go from
they're 4. Yeah, exactly.
However, Stevie Wonder, he wrote and produced all the songs for this soundtrack. Yep. Mm-hmm. Another one I listened to was the gospel soundtrack. The movie The Gospel with Boris Kojo. I hope I'm saying his name right.
Boris Kojo.
Idris Elba. He's on there as well. Album. Yeah, my bad. Album.
Are you good?
They that soundtrack is a gospel soundtrack again. Now Behold the Lamb and
that's my man. Bro, that was like, bro, that's when I actually got into the faith. So that was like the album that all them songs were like hot at the time. So all the songs you name it is like
He Reigns.
Shit, that's what I was.
Yeah, yep. All of them.
I'm looking it up right now.
He Reigns. What's the song with Hezekiah Walker?
I Need You to Survive. Bruh, Now Behold the Lamb is the one that go the hardest though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole thing. I remember my wife used to do little.
They had I think Closer I Get to You on there. I think Change Gonna Come is gonna come. I think Change Gonna Come is on there.
Good.
You are good. That's it. You Are Good.
Victory Go Hard.
Victory. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's the song Fred Hammond? It's a song Fred Hammond.
That's Put Your Hands Together.
Not that one. All Things Are Working.
Yep. All Things Are Working.
Fred Hammond.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
You got 2 on there. Yeah, solid. I wouldn't have thought to pick that.
Solid, bro. Yeah, man. I listen to that all the time.
And some of that is we're prisoners of genres. It's like we gave love to the gospel genre. So it's like we were struggling with our list. When you only get 10, you only get 10. But at the end of the day,
you only get 10. Yeah.
Hey, we got to live vicariously through other people's lists. So how can we do that, Bill?
Take your comments, go down, put it in my 2 cents. Hey, do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Hey, maybe y'all have an album that we don't know about, but hey, put it down in my 2 cents. Put in the comments. It's gonna be
something we left off. Yeah.
I mean, I listen to Color Purple almost at least once a month.
Bro, that's the one I'm surprised you didn't have on for sure. Like I thought that would have definitely got some love because I know
because it's a lot of scores. There's a lot of songs from the score.
Exactly.
On the soundtrack. That's the only reason why.
I already knew what you was going to like because once again, it's the score of the album. I get it. No, but same here. I want to hear from you guys, like Bill said. So drop your 2 cents in the comment section. And man, if you would turn around and ask me this next week, my album order may change.
My top four the same.
My top four staying the same. It's just the order may change, I could definitely some weeks, like I'm about to go watch Bodyguard this week, and then I might put it over number 3. So who knows? Love the list. I'm having like a time travel trip.
I'm having fun with this stuff, man. Having fun.
Man, that's all that I got. I guess until next time. What you got to say, Bill?
And again, thank you guys for listening. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Man, we're going to keep bringing you this great content. And if you have anything that you guys want us to discuss, again, my 2 cents, and we'll bring it up.
Cool. All right, that's all we got to say, guys. Peace.